Yo, what's cracking, family? It's your boy Seven the Panther, Young Bunch of Carter, Carolina Hurricane, all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say thank you to everybody who's already purchased, streamed, whatever. K4G 1.5 bridge. Woo, pardon me, bridging the gap. Shout out to my G Quest on the beats. That is a certified Sound Chamber Productions banger. For those of y'all that have been around for a minute, y'all already know what's about to happen right now. For the next few days, let's see, 6 records. So for the next 6 days, I'm gonna take a song off the record. I'm gonna just go in order the track listing and break down each track, what my thought process was behind it, and more importantly, what that record means in the real scope of the entire project. So with that being the case, we're gonna start it with BTG, the intro. Of course, for those of y'all who are hip hop heads, y'all know the intro sets the tone for the album. Some of my favorite albums ever have like Illmatic intros. You know what I'm saying? The Message was basically the intro to It Was Written. Amazing. Meek Mill has a couple of like stellar intros in his discography. So throughout the course of my projects, I've always gone out of my way to make sure the intro stands out. And so with this particular instance, since we're doing a record called Bridging the Gap, and it's supposed to be bridging the gap between the boom bap sound that I'm normally known for making and some of the other things that I've been doing recently. We took the beat, and in between the two verses, we flipped the drums. Same sample, just flip the drums, and you can hear me request that after the scratching and the hook goes off. I was like, yo, Quest, do me a favor, take that same sample, just flip the drums, and we'll come back in and we're gonna kill it. You know what I'm saying? So from the jump, I said, welcome back, niggas. Bunchy in his bag, got Quest back on the tracks, nigga posted with no tag. And that's basically just saying, it's been a long time. Like, we dropped Quest for Greatness in 2015. So 5 years later, here we are. Got Quest back on the beats. And these ain't no internet beats. Me and my man really rock together. Posted with no tag. The engagement about to have a net breaking. This is not an album release. This is a celebration. And I feel like anytime me and Quest link up, it's a big deal. So, it's not an album release, it's a celebration. Sorry to keep you waiting, but when you Teddy bridging the gap of troubled waters, you're gonna need Sean Payton. This one a breeze. Had a whole region screaming, who that? By Past the Road to Riches, I'm just a G with some cool raps. My Life a Scary Movie, you probably scream at the spoof. Like that whole segment right there. Saying when you Teddy bridging the gap of troubled waters, you're gonna need Sean Payton. Teddy Bridgewater, his career was in trouble. He hurt his knee. He wasn't looked at as being the same quarterback anymore. Sean Payton pretty much, like that contract Teddy just got with the Panthers, Sean Payton can take some credit for that. Teddy should give him some points for that. Because Sean Payton, resurrected his career basically. You know what I mean? This one of Breeze, of course, Drew Brees. Had a whole region screaming, who that? That's, when the Saints were called the Aints. Who that was a big thing down there. But even now it's who that because they're excited about their team. So had the whole region screaming who that. Bypass the road to riches. I'm just a G with some cool raps. I mean, Cool G rap, Road to Riches. That's self-explanatory. My Life a Scary Movie. You probably scream at the spoof. Scary Movie was a spoof of Scream. Most of my peers fool. Probably why I seem aloof. Perfected defensive angles for every dream I pursue. If you ever play football, you know what a defensive pursuit angle is. You know what I'm saying? That's the angle that you take that's most likely to cut off the ball carrier to keep them from scoring a touchdown. So I perfected defensive angles for every dream I pursue, as in I know the dream is running fast, but I mastered my angle to catch it. You know what I'm saying? I just like playing with words, man. Not stardom. I just need you to feel my pain in the booth. Like being a star was never the plan, man. I ain't never wanted to be no star, really. You know what I'm saying? I want to be respected for my craft. I want to be respected by my peers and by the listeners. And you know, of course I want to make some paper, but I don't want it to be crazy to the point where I can't go to the grocery store and buy, you know, some honeycombs in peace. To me, that's just sad. So, you know, after that point, though, Quest was cutting the hook, Sevmatic, you know what I'm saying? And I was talking my shit. So then we go into the second verse after I asked him to flip the drums. And I'm probably not going to spit the whole verse. I might, I don't know. But basically, it started, you know, let me take you on the ride of your life. Double barrel flow, one of a kind on the mic. Pursuant to the fact these niggas probably crying to fight. Already gassed, plus I'm tired. Guess we riding tonight. You know, that's self-explanatory. It wasn't nothing real crazy about that. Like, it's just word association. You know what I'm saying? Word association. To me, it's simple shit. Some people hear it and be like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Dog, that was light. Don't even do that. Don't even do that." You know what I'm saying? Guess we riding tonight. Career on the rise, homie. You gonna die at the height. Unless you grounded, just admire the flight. I've been a boss before your favorite inmate ever heard of a kite. Ben Frank too. Keep it 100. Niggas don't want it. Like, I've been a boss before your favorite inmate ever heard of a kite. That's heavy. Ben Frank too. Keep it 100. Niggas don't want it. Everybody know Ben Franklin was on a $100 bill, but they also know that being frank is basically being blunt and to the point. You know what I'm saying? So I've been frank too. Keep it 100. Niggas don't want it. This is how it works. Evidence. Years of tuning the crowd and no beats. I wrote to the sound of my stomach growling. Like, that's real shit. It was many nights I ain't had no beats to write to. You know what I'm saying? And I was starving. So the rhythm that created from my stomach growling, I bopped my head, create a rhythm in my head to that, and that's what I would write to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas will say shit like that, but it ain't real when they say it. Like, that's real shit. It's been many nights I had to write like that. You know what I'm saying? Hunger created the state of deep angst that I'm found in. My Carolina niggas screaming Panther, keep pounding. If you're a sports fan, you caught that already. No doubt. I owe it to the Trey. That's Trey Ford, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And to Rough Raleigh, Cap City, Raleigh, North Carolina. With centuries of not erased the pain. We smoke weed under leaves of the trees where niggas hang, or they used to. Now the clan just piggies this brutal. Was praying it would probably pass, but I'm not sure. For good measure, I turn a proctor when the Tommy blasts. If you're a Power fan, you caught that. You know what I'm saying? Still trying to reach my zenith. Poverty running too, trying to put distance between us. Like, basically the intro to the album is purely for the purpose of letting people know me and Quest back. I ain't taking no bars off. I don't play around with the words. I say what I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really be saying. So in my opinion, I don't really say nothing controversial. I call it how I see it. I'm trying not to make this video too long. Like, we ain't even gonna get into the rest of the verse, but like, the intro pretty much sets the tone. The beat is crazy. I feel like I wrote it pretty well. Pause. And you know, at the end of the day, if I go back, you know, a year from now, I feel like I'm gonna still feel like that intro set the proper tone for the album. There's a lot of times, man, that I write records and I just don't feel the energy from it once I record it. That intro, after I recorded it and it got mixed, I listened to it on repeat. You know what I'm saying? For a couple of reasons. I was trying to learn the words, and also I wanted to be able to embody that energy for the rest of the project. You know what I'm saying? So I actually kind of almost recorded the project in the order that it's in. On the actual release. So like, you can kind of feel where I was at with it as each song was coming to fruition. So yeah, that's the intro, man. Bridging the Gap, K4G 1.5 Bridging the Gap out right now. It is available on my Bandcamp if you want to buy it and support a brother. It's also out on all streaming platforms, so however you listen to music, it's there. Feel free to leave comments. You know, if you check the album out, let me know what you think about it. And tomorrow I'll be back with Believe, which is one of my favorite songs on the album for various reasons, but we'll get into that. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all so much for kicking it with me. Seven the Panther, man. Thank y'all for banging with a brother all these years, you heard? One.